What's up, Trig? Today is quiz day, basic trig functions quiz. I have 6 questions on the bell work. Some of them are honors questions, which is very rare for me to actually put on a bell work, but I will this time. 3 of them are about honors questions, and I think 3 are regular questions. Let's get started. This is my first question. This is a very basic question. You'll probably definitely see this more than likely on your quiz. So please make sure you pay attention. I'm going to go fast on these. So first of all, I see that this is negative and this is positive. The first thing I need to do is figure out what quadrant I'm in. So this is all students take calculus. Which quadrant? Well, if tangent's negative, it can't be in the first quadrant. And it can't even be in this one because only tangents are positive in that third quadrant. And same thing in this one. And then cosine's positive. Well, it can't be in this one because cosine would be negative. So that means it's my fourth quadrant. Second step. Let's go to blow up my fourth quadrant here. So this is theta. I blow up my fourth quadrant. This is my right angle. All right. So I look at tangent. This is 8 over 15. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. So opposite is 8, and this is 15. Which one gets the negative? The one that's going down. So that means it's negative. And so now my third step is Pythagorean theorem. So this is going to be 15 squared, and then plus negative 8 squared equals c squared. If you want to change that c to r, like what I will, that's fine. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can change it C, R, it doesn't matter. This is going to be 225, and this is plus 64, which equals R squared. So 225 plus 64 is going to give me 289, R squared. I square root that, 289, and that's going to give me 17. So this is going to be my R, 17. And so now that I have that, I want to find the rest of the trig functions. So let's do that. This is going to be my fourth and final step. What is sine of theta? Do I care about what theta is? No, I don't care about what theta is. I just care about the side lengths. And so sine of theta, opposite over hypotenuse, is going to be negative 8 all over 17. Cosine of theta equals, cosine of theta is 15 all over 17. Notice how it's positive because all students take calculus. Cosine is going to be positive here. I already know tangent, so let's go to cosecant theta. I'm going to flip that, so negative 17 all over 8. And then let's go to secant theta. I'm going to flip that to be 17 all over 15. And then I'm going to go to cotangent down here. Cotangent is just going to be negative 15 all over 8. Because I'm just looking right here. Awesome. That is a basic question, but it is good review. So make sure you get that down, and I'm going to erase. All right, this one is a straight honors question. If you're not in honors, you can pretty much just bypass this and go to the next one. I'm going to say if it's honors or not, but this is honors. So let's get to it. This is a rather complicated question. I've looked at it, and it even took me a while to get it, but once I got it, I was just making a silly mistake. I guess I'm really tired. First things first, you should already know what this is. This is negative 1. I get that by doing this. So this is 3 pi all over 2, and this is my quadrantal angle. This point is 0, negative 1, and I know that this is sine. I also wrote it on my trig table of common angles, so I know that is sine negative 1. So I know that this is negative 1, and I'm going to multiply it by what this is. Okay? What is tangent of negative 10 pi all over 3? Well, first of all, if you're like me and you're like, wow, that's pretty complicated, I would actually change this into degrees first. Okay, change that in degrees, that goes poofy. This becomes negative 1800 and then all over 3, which is negative 600 degrees. So that's what I would do personally. So now it's negative 600 degrees. Now what I would do is go back down here, and because I need to know what the exact evaluation of that is. They say not to use a calculator, and I'm trying to not use a calculator, okay, as much as possible. By the way, I'm just going to say, if you have a TI-36X Pro and if you're in rating mode, you can straight up plug all this in exactly how you see it, and you'll get the right answer. Whether or not you do that on the quiz, I won't know about it. So, I mean, you can if you want, but I'm going to try to follow the rules and not use a calculator. Okay, so this is negative 600. What does that mean? It means a lot of things. I'm going to go, first of all, around. This is negative 360 degrees. Okay? If I go another, let's just say I go another, how much can I go? So 360 plus 180. I can do that. So if I go another 180 right here, that's not another 180. Let me erase this. That's about 180. Went too far. This is about negative 540. And then if I want negative 600, that means I need to go right here. And so this is negative 600 right here degrees. Okay? So this angle right here, which means I need to find what theta is right there. That's my reference angle. Okay? Well, how do I get from negative 540 to negative 600? Well, it's 60 degrees. Okay? So that means my reference angle is pi over 3 or 60 degrees. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to blow up that quadrant because I need to draw a triangle. I'm going to blow up that quadrant, make my triangle. This is pi over 3, 60 degrees right here. I know that's my reference angle. And then I'm going to start building my triangle here. This is radical 3, this is 1, and this is negative 2. Sorry, not that. Opposite. This is negative 1, that is 2. This is 2 and negative 1. Now, some of you may be asking, how do you just know that? Well, honestly, I look at, if I have pi over 3, I know that the radical 3, is across from it. That helps me. So if I know it's pi over 3, I know exactly across from it is radical 3. If this was pi over 6, I would put that as a 1, and then I'd put the other side as radical 3 because it's not pi over 3. So I just see the 3's and I just know that they're opposite of each other. That's what helps me. I don't know if that would help you, but that's how I can build the triangle so fast. Okay, so, and I know this is negative because it goes to the left direction. So that's what negative is, it goes to the left direction. And then this is positive and that's positive. So boom, I have this triangle. Now that I have this triangle, I really want to know what tangent is. So tangent is just opposite over adjacent. So radical 3 all over negative 1, which just literally gives me negative radical 3. Okay, opposite over adjacent is negative radical 3. And that is really what I do. And I know that's negative radical 3. Okay. Now this is plus cosine. So now let's build this. Plus negative cosine of negative pi over 6. So that means it just goes down here. This is negative pi over 6, which just means my reference angle is just really easy. It's just pi over 6. So now let me build my actual triangle there, kind of explode it a little bit better. So this is pi over 6. Again, right here, since this is pi over 6, I know that this is negative 1 because it goes down, but I know it's 1 because it's not pi over 3. And that means this needs to be radical 3, and then the hypotenuse is always 2. Okay? Cosine is cosine is adjacent, radical 3 all over hypotenuse. So this is adjacent, radical 3 all over hypotenuse. So I have this, negative 1 times negative radical 3, and then plus this. So what does this equal? This actually equals radical 3, and then plus radical 3 all over 2. And then I need to combine like terms. So this is times 2 times 2. So this actually equals 3 radical 3 all over 2. And you will get that answer. So that is my final answer. Now, obviously, look around. Like, we had to do a lot of this. We had to do a lot of things, which is why I made the quiz 60 minutes, because it is very difficult. You need to do a lot of this junk in order to get there. So I get that, okay? Try not to use your calculator, though. You can, your TI-36 Pro, but you don't need to. All right, I'm going to race. Hopefully that was a tough question for you. Really stretches your brain. This is another honors question. So again, if you skip to this question, like, oh crap, this is another honors. Yeah. So this is actually composition of functions right here. It doesn't mean hog, it means composition. So that means you're going to plug G into H. So you're going to plug this function into that function. So what does that look like? it looks like you're going to plug in g of x into h. So I have 2, and then I have cosine, and then again 19 pi all over 2. That's what it looks like. Okay, so I need to evaluate cosine of 19 pi over 2, and then I need to obviously multiply that then by 2. So what does that look like? Let's find out. So 19 pi over 2 is actually really nice because it's just pi over 2, and I can keep it in radians. I don't need to do it in degrees. It's actually worse if you do it in degrees. Watch how easy it is to keep in radians. Because I know this is saying 19 pi over 2s. That's really what it's saying. It's saying 19 pi over 2. So that means I know pi over 2s is this whole thing. It's literally each quadrant, right? Pi over 2 is each quadrant. So what am I going to do? I'm going to literally count 19 pi over 2s. So watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So that means this goes around over and over and over and over and over and over again, but we get to this quadrantal angle right here. What would that quadrantal angle be? What would that point be? Well, it is 0, -1. That doesn't change. Okay. Now, what is cosine of that point? Cosine of this point is 0. Okay, cosine of that point is 0, which means this is 2 times 0, which means this is just 0. Could you use a calculator on that as well? Yes, you could plug the calculator in that as well, and then you would, of course, get this. I strongly encourage you not to, but this is what you do. Okay? Let's erase. This one is a basic question, so if you're skipping past it and you finally got to a basic question, regular people, non-honors students, then yes, let's go to it. The first thing is first, I need to figure out where this is. 10 and then -10 is actually going to be in my fourth quadrant. So it's going to be right here. So 10, -10 is right here. Awesome. Okay. That means this is 10, and then this is -10, and then I want to find what that is. This is actually this you should know, and that's what I'm going to say. You should know what this is. This is actually 10 radical 2. And the reason why it's 10 radical 2 is because if you have the same side, guys, if you have the same side lengths, it's a 45 degree triangle. So this is pi over 4. And because I use special right angles, I know that's 10 radical 2. Now, you could use Pythagorean theorem if you want, but I'm actually going to skip that step because I know it's a special right triangle. It's 10, 10, and then this is radical 2. That follows x, x, and then x times radical 2. Whatever the side lengths are, it's x times radical 2. This is 10, 10 times radical 2. So I already know what that is. This is my r. I'm going to skip Pythagorean theorem. If you don't believe me, do 100 plus 100, and then square root 200. What is the square root of 200? Then that will give you 10 times radical 2. Okay? Believe me. Also, let's go to 2, and what are we doing here? Okay, find the 6 trig functions, yeah? So I'm just going to find the 3 for you. I'm not going to find the 6. So this one right here, opposite is -10, all over hypotenuse is 10 radical 2. So that goes poofy, so this is just right here. And so negative radical 2 all over 2. Cosine, since I know it's a special right triangle, guys, I'm going to just straight up jump the gun, and I'm just going to tell you it's radical 2 all over 2. It doesn't matter what the side lengths are. This will always be the same. Okay, we already said that multiple times. It doesn't matter how big or proportionate you get these side lengths. If it's a small triangle, big triangle, it will always be the same ratio. Okay, the reason why this is positive and that's negative is because what quadrant are you in? You're in quadrant 4. All students take calculus, cal, c, cosine. So cosine is only positive in the fourth quadrant, so I know that's positive here, and sine is negative there. Tangents. Of course, if I do sine over cosine, negative radical 2 all over 2, all over radical 2 all over 2, then it will become -1. Okay? Or I can do opposite over adjacent, so -10 all over 10, it gives me -1. You can do the rest if you want. I'm just going to keep them there for the sake of time. Okay? I hope that makes sense. I hope you're kind of connecting these trigonometric functions here. Okay. Cofunction, what is it? The cofunction of this is sine. Even though it's not a cocaptain, the cofunction of a sine, I'm going to use pi over 2 because that's 90 degrees. This is 2 pi all over 7. And this just means I need to multiply by 7 to get 14, multiply by 7, multiply by 2 to get 14, multiply by 2, I get 4. So that means 7 minus 4 is sine 7 minus 4 is 3 pi, and then all over 14. So this should be your cofunction. It doesn't tell you to evaluate the expression. It just tells you to find the cofunction. So it should be that. Sine of 3 pi over 14. Again, I have to find common denominators. Multiply by 7, I get 14. Multiply by 7, I get 7 pi. Multiply by 2, I get 14. Multiply by 2, I get 4. 7 minus 4 is 3, and then 14 stays at the bottom. Awesome. This will be my final one. This is my honors one. Okay, this one can get a little bit complicated just because it's so freaking big. I mean, that's really what it is. It's just so big, and I hate that how big it is. So let's get started on it. What do? I first had to build my XY plane. Okay, so the first one, I go all the way around, and this is 360. If I go all the way around again, 720. If I go all the way around again, it's 1080. And we're getting closer. Now, if I go all the way around again, guys, if I actually take 1080 and then plus 180, I get 260. So I'm going to do this in red. So if I do 1080, which is what I'm at right now, plus 180, okay, I actually get 1260. Now, of course, that's a little bit too far, right? Yes? So that means I need to subtract how much? Well, I subtract this from each other, and then that means I get 45, which means my reference angle is hidden right here, and this is going to be the 45-degree angle. So that means I'm going to blow this up, and I'm going to have 45 degrees right here. So this is pi all over 4, okay? Which means this is 1, this is -1, and this is radical 2, which means secant is going to be the reciprocal of cosine. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, so that means this is going to be hypotenuse, radical 2 all over adjacent, which is -1, which reduces down to negative radical 2. Okay? That's how you use reference angles to solve for this. Okay? I know that can kind of get confusing, so just let me know if it does, and I can help you. Okay? You can also use the calculator if you want, as long as you type it in like this. So cosine of 1215 degrees, but make sure you're in degrees. Or you can use Desmos, and it will actually give you the decimal version of radical 2, negative radical 2, but it will give you a decimal instead of an actual. The TI-36X Pro will actually give you this if you type it in exactly like that. Okay? Try not to use a calculator, please. Seriously, try not to use one. All right, go ahead and erase. Here is your quiz. Go ahead and get started. Pause, get started. 60 minutes, not 60 questions, 60 minutes, 10 questions. Please review your answers. Send any partial credit requests to me. I'm hoping to see probably a lot of them because you'll probably mess up on the negatives. More than likely a lot. You'll probably forget a negative there, here, or there. So please send any partial credit. Make sure you review your answers adequately enough. Okay? Go ahead and do that. And then I just want to remind you that retakes are still available today for the radians and arcs quiz. If you're watching this video on Friday, still available until 4 p.m. if you need to retake that. If not, it's going to stay the same. Okay, no chance of retaking it afterwards. And then this quiz, the basic trig functions quiz, you can retake all the way up until next Thursday. You should be taking this on Thursday, no matter what. So a week from the day you take it, so you should be able to take it any day until next Thursday. If you have any questions, please let me know. You have no weekend, so no weekend homework, so enjoy your 3-day weekend, Phantoms. I really hope you enjoy it. Take a break from trig, even though I don't like saying that, but take a break from trig, just relax, rejuvenate, veg out, But this is C Squared Mathematics. Please like and subscribe. Peace out. I will see you later, Phantoms.